Well, welcome back to Cultural Connections. Thank you for tuning in. We are having ongoing conversations about faith and family and culture, and so we have a special guest I will introduce here in just a moment. Wanted to remind you, culturalconnectionspodcast.com, our online hub of resources. I hope you're enjoying that. Like our content, share it. We believe these conversations are truly life-changing. There's a lot of people talking in the world, but a lot of people are talking about things that aren't life-changing, but we really believe that the conversations that we are having are things that God could really use to make a difference in eternal lives for His glory. There was a show on CBS, I don't remember the guy's name, but he had a map, and he would take a dart, he would throw the dart behind his back, and it would hit somewhere in the United States. He would drive to that city, and then he would find a phone book, and indiscriminately he would go through a phone book, put his finger on a name, and he would call them. And he would make a connection, and then he would say something to the extent of, I'd like to come and hear your story. And it was just really fascinating how people in the smallest places and in maybe the most unimpressive ways would have the most incredible stories. And the fact is, we all have a story. One of our favorite songs is Fanny Crosby, where she says, "This is my story. This is my song." So we are starting a new series here on Cultural Connections called "This Is My Story." And sweetheart, why don't you introduce our guest today?
Well, I think I might first need to interrupt because Brandy is a millennial, correct? And she may not know what a phone book is.
Oh, I do know what a phone book is. I do.
That's a joke. I assumed you did, but phone books were mostly used in my childhood to boost you up like that. I don't know what people do without phone books now to boost children up to the table. I don't know.
You used pillows at lunch on Sunday.
I did use pillows on Sunday to boost someone up at our table. Fun. So this is our dear friend, Brandy. We've known Brandy for over a year and a half now. She was part of the package when we came and joined Calvary Baptist Church. Brandy and her family were here. I don't want to take too much from me. She has a large family, all beautiful, beautiful children.
Thank you.
And
For sure.
I'm just excited. I was introduced to your story really fully just a few days ago. And so I had known bits and pieces just from little details you had dropped to me every so often. But you had really shared your story with someone else who had come to me and said, you need to have Brandy on your show because her story needs to be heard. And then I went to Brandy, and she, of course, agreed to share her story, which I was so happy for. And I think you told me that you had only told 2 people your full story like that. Is that correct?
Maybe
two.
Yeah.
So I felt privileged to be the 3rd, and now all of you are about to be the 4th. So we are excited. So I'll let you take.
So I'm the
over.
3rd.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I don't
you're part
know.
Of the 4th.
I don't know Brandy's story, so this will be really exciting. So, because I don't know your story, I don't know where you grew up. I don't know much of maybe even how you and Kevin met. So, where do we start? Like, where does Brandy's story begin?
Well, I was born in '86 in Colorado, Denver. I was born into a life of strong addiction, alcoholism, drugs. Pretty much my whole childhood was that. It really didn't start to get really bad until maybe 10 years old. I have 2 younger siblings, and right around that time is when my mother had my brother. My dad's brother, he committed suicide. So for him, he completely went off the deep end. And they would leave me at home days, maybe weeks at a time. We would more often than not be left home without the basic necessities: running water, electricity.
And you were left to take care of your siblings.
Yeah. Yep. There were times when I would have to, ask our neighbors for bread so that I could feed them. And then as the years went on, it, proceeded to get worse. At 16 is really when things became real. My dad had went to prison. He got caught smuggling drugs from California to Colorado, and he got arrested in Utah. So that's how that happened. He went to prison. A week later, my mom went to jail. I was pretty much left again to pick up the pieces and take care of a whole entire family.
And at this point, how old were your siblings?
My sister was, 11, 12. She was 12. My brother was 5 or 6.
And you were 16.
I was 16. A week after they had gone to jail, we got kicked out of our apartment. So I had to use the little bit of money that I had left. I had to get a studio apartment and take care of them, basically.
And no Department of Children and Family, nobody came in?
No.
No child services?
No, because during those years, we would move to try to,
You were off the radar.
yeah.
So I've been to Denver several times. Are we in the inner city? Or are we in the
Yes.
suburbs?
It's the inner city.
Okay.
Broadway is like the longest street running north-south, I believe.
Yeah. And when you say you were sometimes without electricity and water in Florida, I mean, is it fun to not have electricity? No, but we could survive. In Colorado, it's freezing. So I can't even, there's maybe even a thought we didn't even consider. So no electricity sometimes, no running water sometimes.
In the dead of winter.
In the dead of winter.
Freezing.
So is
And
any,
so-
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what did you do to try to keep you and your siblings warm?
Well, we snuggled up in the living room, and we would have campouts, with tons of blankets and tons of pillows. I try to make it as easy for them as I possibly could, not really knowing what to do. Yeah.
So we kind of cut you off in your story. You were at the point where you were going to be kicked out of the apartment that you were in, and so you had a little bit of money, and then what did you do?
I went and found a studio apartment that some person was willing to rent to me. We moved in. I dropped out of school, and sin has a way of finding the wounded, and I was extremely wounded, and I did things that I probably would not ever do, like not having to do so. So it was.
That's a powerful line. Sin has a way of forcing us into certain things. Is that from your heart? Is that like I'm a preacher, so things stand out to me.
That line?
That line. Yeah, it was, sin has a way of finding the wounded. I was wounded, and we were in a life of sin.
Yeah.
And I was born into a life of sin.
Amazing.
And you were making ends meet, however.
I was trying to do the best I could.
To keep your siblings fed. So you were playing mother to your siblings.
Yeah.
Any other family members? Anybody show up, try to help, or?
Well, there were a few. My uncle came, but he was worse off than my parents were. He had tried to commit suicide. I mean, he slit his wrists. He came, and I probably could have done better without him there, because he would have people come who were not the greatest influence or people to be around.
Wow.
At
So
that time.
the one word that comes to my mind as I'm listening to you describe this is alone.
I was alone. I felt completely abandoned. I felt
Orphaned?
pretty much, yeah.
And then I know I keep throwing you off of your story, but even as I'm hearing it for the second time, the details are even penetrating my heart even more as I listen to you say these things. it's hard for me to not listen to you and to go back into my own mind as a 16-year-old. And where was I at? What was I doing? You know, could I have handled that?
I
So,
I often look at my daughters at the age I was, and I said, how I could never. I don't understand how a mother could leave their children like that. I just could. It's just I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine.
there is an insanity to sin. And addiction has a way of taking over the mind, the heart. I don't know your mom, but I am a mom, so I think through what would cause a mom to leave her children like that. And addiction is on the list. It becomes their god. They must bow down and worship to their addiction always.
Yep.
It has a grip that is so hard to get away from. But there you are. I mean, if we can use the word orphaned, you're an orphan because you're a child yourself, and you've been doing this since at least 10 years old, maybe even earlier, but at least from 10, playing the role of mom. And then you get this apartment, and then what happens?
Then I try to find, jobs here and there. My grandmother does eventually come, and she takes my brother maybe once a month during the weekends. But other than that, he's staying with us. My sister was not doing what she was supposed to do either. She ended up getting pregnant at 12, the end, like 12, 13. So as she's struggling with that, I'm trying to hold everything together the best I could. And
So now you were playing mom to your siblings, and now sort of like an aunt, grandma role to this new baby, because I think you told me that you kept the baby.
Yep.
And so now there's a baby in the home.
there's a baby in the home. My mom finally gets out, and she finds a different house for us to go stay at, but she slowly starts to go back into the same routine, the same addictions. So I'm trying to deal with that and trying to deal with, my brothers and sisters still, trying to keep them in school. It was a lot. It was a lot to handle, but God's seen me through. He was there with me through those valleys, and that I'm so grateful for, because I didn't deserve it. I didn't,
There's a phrase, there's a song. It's called The Unseen Hand. And what it talks about in the song is that all through our life we can see this unseen hand that's there guiding, even though you don't know. You're not calling out to God. You're not going to church.
No.
You're not recognizing the Lord as your Savior. None of those things are happening, but yet there's still the hand of God that's guiding and leading you to where your story turns. And we're going to get there. The story turns. So maybe the next part, and I don't want to skip any details, so feel free to go back, but Kevin enters your life.
Yes.
So tell us about how that works.
I met Kevin. He says he knew instantly that we were going to be married. I not so much, because I was still trying to reel my life back in, trying to pick up the pieces of where I was supposed to be or what I was supposed to do with myself. But I meet him, and maybe 18, I was 18 is when I finally, he called me one day. He said, "Are we going to do this, or are we going to stay where we're at?" And I said, "Well, we're going to do this." So I left, and we went together, and we were homeless for a while. We moved from hotel to hotel, just trying to live a somewhat better life than we were both living. And then eventually we moved to Wyoming with his sister. I get pregnant with my oldest child, my son. We moved to Mississippi with his mother-in-law, which was the greatest, probably most important thing that I've ever done in my life, was to move there, because his mother really impacted my life quite a bit. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to really take care of things properly. I mean, I knew how to cook basic things, but she really took me under her wing, and that's where I learned a lot. How to love properly, how to serve your family, how to be there for your children when they need you.
So God brought a mother to mother you. I mean, obviously you're entering adult years, but these were all things that you didn't get a chance to learn. And so she became like a mother.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was amazing. We were not in church every day, every Sunday. We weren't faithful yet. I wasn't saved yet. But it.
So tell us about that. Tell us about how you found Christ.
Well, my husband was raised going to church, and so when we were in Mississippi, we would go once in a while with his mom. So we moved back to Colorado because he had some business he had to take care of there. And we both said, maybe should we, take the kids to church? And I'm like, yes, we should. So at this time we had Kevin and Laylee in Colorado. And so we start going more often. We attended a church, and the pastor, he was blind. And he knew the Bible so well. And I said, what does he see that I don't see? What is he seeing that I can't see? So that night we went and had a Bible study at his house, and I just surrendered my life to the Lord, because he can see something I can't see, and I wanted to know what that was.
That is also another powerful line for you.
That is
preacher.
powerful.
The blind preacher
Yeah.
saw something that you couldn't see.
For sure.
Makes me think of, you were just giving illustration in church regarding Fanny Crosby
Yeah.
and her blindness, and her blindness is what,
Her heart could see.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what you're saying about your pastor.
So was that your first interaction with real Christianity, would you say?
I would say real, yes. My grandmother would bring us to church. I went to church before that, maybe 4 or 5 times. But that's when I really, truly.
So
got to
what did
see.
you see? What did you feel? I grew up in church, and of course there's some real and there's a lot of phony baloney too. So maybe I might be tainted to some things that I'm used to seeing. What were you seeing that, as you said, he's seeing something I didn't see before? Bring us into that world. What did you see or feel or hear that made it so appealing to you?
Just the love of this man, just loving others, the body of Christ just coming together and loving each other. And I never felt that love. And I never felt true family. And I felt like complete surrender. I just wanted to surrender my life, because I wanted to feel that love.
Almost like no longer orphaned.
Right.
And now there's a family, and you don't have to be the
Alone.
mom and alone. That is extremely powerful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so you get saved, and then what happens?
Well, I get saved and I go on, and we buy our first home. Life just completely changed for us in the most amazing way. We have 7 beautiful children. My husband owns his own business. We are here with an amazing church family that I don't think that I could ever replace. And But God doesn't promise us that our life is going to be easy after salvation. We had a lot of hard, challenging times after that, but He doesn't promise us easy. He promises that He'll be with us in those valleys and that He will carry us through.
And you had a family to come back to, right? So maybe tell us, because if you told me this on Saturday, I don't remember, but how did you get to Florida? So you're in Colorado. His family's from Mississippi.
So
your family's from Massachusetts.
So Kevin and I, we didn't know this at the time, but we lived in Colorado on the same street when we were 10, 11, 12 years old.
No way.
We met, his parents, well, his mom's side is from Massachusetts. My mom's side's from Massachusetts.
Wow.
His mom sent him to Colorado with his dad. So that's where I met Kevin in Colorado. And then after us being together for a while, we were married and his grandmother lived here. And she invited us to her 50th anniversary. So we came here and I said, I don't ever want to leave. We're going home, we're selling it, and we're moving here. And he said, no, we're not. I said, well, yeah, we are. So here we are.
And so what year was that when you moved to Florida?
2015.
Okay. And that is around the time that you found this church,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And kind of hit and miss sometimes with church, and then you became faithful.
Yes.
And I want to say you said 2023? Is that
2023, well, yeah, we had there was COVID, and then my husband lost his dad tragically a few years before COVID. Then 23 came around, Ian came. We completely lost everything. So it was just kind of like a whirlwind of things happening. But after we were finally able to settle down, we started coming faithfully and joined Calvary.
And their family is one of our most faithful servants. If I have a need or something that needs to be done, Brandy would always be top on the list to help, which we so appreciate, and her children as well. And even just a couple weeks ago, your daughter sang the solo in the choir, the choir, children choir and adult choir combined.
Yeah.
And the title is
What He's Done.
Yeah.
What He's done. And
Yeah.
when you
If
now
we can
when
find that, we'll put it on
I would
on
love-
the show here.
On the hill of Calvary, my Savior bled for me. My Jesus set me free. Look at the wounds that give me life, grace flowing from His side. No greater sacrifice. What He's done, all the glory.
like I don't want children. I don't want that. But that's not your case.
I honestly think God was preparing me for being where I am now with my children. I really think that's why I had to go through the things I went to, maybe to kind of prepare me to be a mom of 7, maybe.
And they always, they always come to church all looking just perfect, and I mean, I know what it's like at home. I can tell you, but that's not what it looks like. When you get here, they come lined out. They're all beautiful. Their hair's done. They have these beautiful dresses on, and they're ready to come to church. And it's just amazing. As a mom of 4 children, you impress me so much, because I thought at 4 was that is all I can take. And here you are with 7, and it's just amazing. And I remember speaking for the baby shower that you just had with your last baby, Leah. Well, I say last, I mean, maybe there's
Yeah,
more.
no, I think
Seven
my
is the number of
family's- our
completion,
family's
so you might be completed. But I remember speaking and just talking about that and what a treasure children are. And some people may look at that and say, whoa, what, like, that is too much, or what are you doing? And I look at it as, wow, 7 children get to be raised in a Christian home, get to learn the ways of our Lord and go and spread the gospel. And what a wonderful thought that is. And you have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
So I was going to ask, Lydia was singing the solo, and full disclosure, Phoebe was teaching her.
Yeah.
And I had seen another church, well, the man who wrote that song, his church did it, a very large church in Texas. So I said, we have to do that at Calvary. So I said to Phoebe, do you have anybody that can sing the solo? And so she said she did. It was kind of a vicarious moment for me. I've seen my kids get to do things in ministry that just made me feel like, wow, this is it. Like, this is seeing them serve and minister. And I was kind of vicariously seeing that through you guys that Sunday. But what do you have feelings in moments like that, like the full circle moment of what God did to rewrite your story, like even a small thing like that, like your children singing or serving? Do you go back a little bit and just say, wow, God, look what you did in my life? Or are there snapshots that just kind of take you back and forth in time?
Oh yeah, there's. We often, my husband and I, sit back and we just are in awe of what He's done for us. I mean, my children are, they're not perfect. They're not perfect children, but their willingness to do things and to serve is just amazing to me to watch. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah. Lydia just came up. I think it was on Sunday. I think this is probably like her second, maybe even third time saying something to me, and I give her the same. I give her the same answer each time. I think you can. So she asked me, "Do you think I could sing in the choir?" And I said, "Well, you're singing a solo, so I think that makes you official. You can, if anyone gets the right to sing in a choir, it's someone who already sang a solo in church." So I said, "Go for it. If I get in trouble, tell them it was my fault."
She's always asking, "What can I do? Where can I serve?"
She helps me in the nursery a lot too. She's a huge helper.
She led my 7-year-old to the Lord. That to me I was without words. It was just like, it's just so amazing to watch.
Very cool. You were probably, I think you and Kevin, probably one of the first families that reached out to us when we came to Calvary. And yeah, just hearing your story, like, you have a beautiful home. Obviously, Ian allowed you guys to remodel it, but
It was a blessing in disguise.
For sure.
beautiful home. And as Marie said, the kids just always being very well ordered here. And that's what men see, right? But what God sees is there was a whole thing that He did, a miracle in your life and Kevin's life as well. My question, I guess, is, or comment, when we first met you, there were just some things that meant more to you guys as parents, having young children. There was a real focus, an intentionality about ministry and care that impressed me. Like, as a pastor, like, I feel like these people, they get it. Like, they want a church that honors God and loves God and preaches the truth, an authentic environment. And I think from where you're from, or where you're from, and even it's interesting, my experience is obviously radically different than yours. But one thing I've tried to hang my hat on in ministry is authenticity. I crave authenticity. Like, I look for it, I love it. I see it in people. And I think that's the one thing I noticed about her when we met, was just an intentionality of, she's real. Like, she's not playing games with me. Like, the life she lived, there's no time for games. Like, this is real. And authenticity and genuineness is what's going to get us out. And so I just applaud, obviously, what God's done, but there's some things that you've done as well to, in your children, to instill some things that have impressed me. And that heart makes me want to give more, if that makes sense. And be the best church that we can be.
Yeah.
for families like yours.
Yeah. And I was just, you made me think back to the day that you all invited us to your house. And I remember standing, I don't even think we ever actually sat down. I feel like we stood in your kitchen the whole time. But you and your husband were just expressing what you were really hoping to find in church. Not in a consumerism way.
No.
Because there's two type of church members. It's like, what can you do for me? And the other type of church member is, what can I do for the kingdom of God? And you were asking questions not in a consumer way, but in a we want our children and our family to be a part of something bigger than us. That's what it felt like.
Oh, for sure.
And there was a seriousness and a genuineness, and there just to even in that moment to meet us for the first time, really, in a deep way, and just express really what you were looking for. And we left that
Yeah,
meeting
thinking there's some things that
there's-
need to change.
yeah, there were
the
things that needed to
takeaway
change
in
at the
our
church.
car, for sure.
And I left with just, that's an impressive family. And wanting to understand you more. I remember walking away thinking, I have a lot of questions for them. So I'm seeing this beautiful home. I'm seeing all these children. I'm listening to what you're saying. And I knew there was some depthness to your soul, but now I realize how much depth was there. And thinking there's more to this story, and I want to know it. Obviously, I don't press people to tell me things. I just let them share when they want to share. And I'm so very thankful that you were willing to share this, not just with me with your pastor now, but with people that could, hear it and realize there's hope. I think that's what I get. There's hope.
There is hope.
Even if this was your life before, there's hope. And I know we mentioned this, I feel like the last, maybe 2 podcasts ago when Addison was on here, but our God is the God who turns ashes into beauty. And that's exactly what I see when I see you and when I hear your story.
Yeah.
That our God can do wonderful and marvelous things.
He absolutely can. Absolutely.
Well, so you have 7 children. So what do you want for them? Like, what your heart? Every parent has a heart. Like, I want this for my kids. What would you say? Because they're going to watch this, and I'm sure you've told them this. But what do you want for them? What's the vision?
I want them to do what they feel they need to do to serve the Lord the best way that they can, in the most intense way that they can, just to serve the Lord in any way possible, and to do it with love, and to do it with the most grateful and thankful hearts, and just to be real and honest and genuine, and to love people, and to stay humble.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I think Micah said that, to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. I think you've used the word love about 10 times today. That's the word. So this is your story. So you were attracted to the love of God in people, to the love of God through you, even when you thought you could not extend that to someone else. And that's what you want your kids to exhibit in this world. Man, what a story. Wow. We should have had you last, because I don't know if anyone can top your story, but welcome to try. No, that's the thing about it. Our pastor, I just shared he did an interview in Knoxville with a pretty prominent TV personality. And he asked, the host asked him, how hard was that? Thinking he would say, oh, that was so difficult, blah, blah, blah. And Pastor Sexton says, we didn't know. We were happy. Looking back, he realized just how chaotic his life was. And I think he was trying to say God was there. God was there the whole time, and his grace was sufficient, and God had a higher purpose.
Yeah.
So praise God for that.
I was just my pastor down in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, where I grew up, is Pastor Tom Sexton, and then where he went to high school is Pastor Clarence Sexton, who also started the Crown College, which is where we met. So my pastor and his school pastor, and then later his church pastor, were brothers. And so their story is quite amazing too. And it's the same. Like there was an unseen hand protecting, keeping them safe until the moment that they received the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. So many times in both of our pastors' lives where their life could have easily been taken. Obviously, this is their story, but I can share some of their story: abuse, alcoholism, casinos, all kinds of crazy stuff that a child shouldn't have to be around all the time. But God protected them with that unseen hand and brought them through. And I think about that story, and I think about me, because I'm saved and I know the Lord, and my life has been changed because of my pastor, who God had an unseen hand protecting him, leading me. And so I'm one of those recipients of that story. And it's just like, that's what I think is wonderful. Like, your story is wonderful, but your story doesn't end with you.
No.
There's people that, because of your story, now, later, fast forward, they're going to be serving God because there was an unseen hand that protected you. And so I think that's what I'm trying to, your story doesn't end with today, the end of your story. Your story keeps going, and it's going to go through your children and the lives of people that you influence. I mean, you're helping out in our youth department, and the influence that you'll have in teenagers who have, rough childhood, rough surroundings, rough atmosphere. But to be able to say, you know what, I did too, but God can change all of that. And it's so powerful. And I think it's just so very powerful that you have chosen to share your story. And we, once again, feel very privileged that you would share it, not just with us, but share it with the world.
I was extremely nervous.
You survived it.
Well, you did great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So someone gets the last word, and I co-host with a woman, so you know how this works. You or Marie get the last word, but I'm gonna let her decide if she has it or she gives it to you.
No, do you have a last word?
I'm Brandy, and this is my story.
That's wonderful. That's perfect.
Awesome. I love that. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and like and share this, and be encouraged in the God who takes a mess and turns it into a message. And we appreciate you tuning in, and thank you again, Brandy, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
God bless you.